I'm sure many of us have heard the term Ayurveda before, but aren't really familiar with the practice. So today I'm sitting down with Monica Yearwod, an Ayurvedic practitioner and founder of Hamsa Center, and she's going to be talking with us about what this ancient practice is all about, how to incorporate it into our lives, and how we can detox with it. So Monica, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started.
Well, I think I mostly got started through my own healing journey. I had always been interested in philosophy and health since a child. And I came into Ayurveda when I was in my early 20s. I went to the school, Maharishi University of Management. Okay. It's like a Vedic-based education program in Iowa. And that's where I learned about Ayurveda there. And it was just everything that I love in one place. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so the practice of Ayurveda, mm-hmm. what is it and what does it entail?
Well, the word Ayurveda, Ayur means life and Veda means knowledge. So it's life knowledge that's gained through our relationship with nature. Ayurveda is both a lifestyle practice and a healing modality. It's from India. It's over 5,000 years old. It teaches that each person has a relationship with nature, that there are observable cycles in nature, such as the change of the season would be one observable cycle in nature. Okay. And then living in alignment with those cycles, we enhance our state of health and mental well-being. When we desynchronize from the cycles of nature, we foster disease processes in the body or imbalances in the mind. So one example of a cycle of nature would be the change of the season. Another observable cycle would be the sun. So we can observe the way that the sun moves through the day. So Ayurveda says to live in alignment with the sun, we should rise each day when the sun rises, get appropriate sleep each night, eat our main meal midday when the sun is the strongest. So those are some examples of observable cycles in nature and the lifestyle practices that follow suit with them. But then Ayurveda is also a medical system. So it has a really extensive pharmacology of herbs and herbal pharmacology. We have different detox practices that we use. We have different lifestyle practices we'll use according to a person's dosha, which most people, when they hear Ayurveda, they know that word dosha, which very simply refers to people's mind-body constitutions.
Okay.
So the lifestyle practices help to keep people in balance. So there'll be different lifestyle practices depending on a person's doshic constitution. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what are the different types of doshas?
There's three. Okay. There's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ayurveda is a five elemental system, kind of like Chinese medicine. Mm-hmm. So it sees everything in the universe as being composed of five different elements: air, ether, fire, water, and earth. Those five elements come together to form three primary pairs. Vata is air and ether, Pitta is fire and water, and Kapha is earth and water. So the doshas are within every person. They govern all the physiological processes as well as different mind tendencies and digestive tendencies. So each person has all three of the doshas within their constitution. We just have them in different proportions. So understanding what your own constitution is will help you in determining ideal lifestyle practices for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're trying to figure out your dosha, how do you do that?
Through observation. So like yoga, mm-hmm. Ayurveda and yoga are sister sciences together.
Oh, okay.
And both of those practices really emphasize developing inner awareness and self-observation. So you can, go to an Ayurvedic practitioner like me, mm-hmm. and I can help you determine what your constitution is, which would then help you determine ideal lifestyle practices for you to keep yourself balanced. Or you can start a study program and learn about the doshas and their characteristics in nature and how they express themselves in you. A lot of times, people come to see me and they're like, I want to, be balanced. I want to become balanced. But in Ayurveda, becoming balanced is non-existent. It's like life is always happening. We're always in this dance, being influenced by the season, by nature, mm-hmm. by what's happening. So the practice of Ayurveda is really a process of continuously balancing and responding well to what's happening in our external environment.
Interesting. Okay. And I know here at Hamsa Center, you focus a lot on detoxing and detoxing workshops. So I want to talk about how we can use Ayurveda practices to detox or cleanse ourselves. So what would be some techniques that you would recommend for somebody that hasn't ever heard of Ayurveda or has practiced it before?
Okay, well, the number one daily lifestyle practice in both Ayurveda and yoga is some form of self-inquiry and meditation practice for detoxing the mind and for strengthening our own self-connectivity. So that's going to be the most number one thing. But then after that, for detoxing the body, skin brushing.
Okay.
So, using a dry brush, that's something that's really good in the fall, the winter, and the spring for stimulating lymphatic flow. Starting off the day with a glass of water with a little bit of lemon in it for just helping to detox the body. Tongue scraping. So, and being aware of what your tongue looks like in the morning before you brush your teeth. So Ayurveda teaches that we detox while we sleep, and the amount of toxicity in our body will express itself in our tongue. So looking at your tongue first thing in the morning before you brush your teeth, if you have a thick white coating on your tongue, it indicates there's some more degree of toxins in the body. And then scraping them off using a tongue scraper, because Ayurveda teaches that it will reabsorb back into the body if we don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Engaging in calorie restriction at certain times of the year. So in the late winter, spring time would be the time of year that we would do like a fasting, otherwise known as fasting, but some form of calorie restriction. And then Ayurveda would look at the constitution of the person to determine which cleanse practice would be better for them.
Okay.
So juicing is better for some types and not necessarily for other types.
Interesting. So I like the fact that with Ayurveda, it's not one cleanse fits all, essentially. It's all about what your constitution is and what works for you individually.
Correct, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is a skin brush. It's a rather soft bristled brush. And you just use it to create long strokes always towards the heart, and start with the ankles. You can do maybe 10 strokes per limb, just long, brisk strokes towards the heart. Not that much pressure at all, about as much pressure as it takes to move a coin across a table, because the lymph fluid moves very closely to the surface of the skin, and deep pressure will then obstruct the flow of lymph. So you really want to use the brush to help manipulate it so that it moves towards the heart. And when you do your arms, you lift your arms above your head. So the skin is the largest organ on the body, and whatever we put on it, it consumes. So just like a nicotine patch or progesterone cream, it goes directly into the lymphatic system and the circulatory system. So we have different oils that we can use for specific intended effects. We have oils that are anti-inflammatory, and we have oils that are detoxifying. So Mahanarayana oil has a lot of camphor in it, and camphor is really good for opening up the energetic channels in the body, for increasing heat. And in Ayurvedic detoxification, we always want to increase the amount of heat in the body, whether that's through spices or sweating or through using heating oils.
Okay. So to kind of top it all off for viewers that have never really tried any of the Ayurveda practices, what are some tips or some daily practices that people can use to kind of incorporate Ayurveda into their lives?
Sipping warm water throughout the day would be another practice. It really helps with continuous flushing. It's a very easy thing to do to help with ongoing cleansing. And then if you wanted to, you could cut up a few slices of ginger root, which stimulates digestion and helps with detoxification. Skin brushing, which we talked about, the application of medicinal oils, and then trying to eat most of your calories in the earlier part of the day. So, the word breakfast is breaking the fast. In our culture, we tend to emphasize eating a huge last meal, which is dinner, which in Ayurveda is, and a lot of holistic systems, that's a big no-no. Going to sleep with a big belly full of food is very toxic, that the food can breed toxins and ferment in the body. You want to go to bed with an empty stomach. So having your dinner meal being the smallest meal of the day is an easy way also to help with ongoing cleansing.
And that could help with weight loss too, essentially.
Absolutely. A simple Ayurvedic weight loss program would be to eat your last meal for lunch. So around 2:00 in the afternoon is to have your last meal, and then either do like herbal broth soups or vegetable broth soup, or juicing if it's the summer season, for the rest of the day. And then start again your morning meal the next day.